Hey, ooh, how you know? Hi, Artie Fox. Hi, Kathy B. What's up? What's poppin', everybody? Sorry, I had to change the time because I was looking into something else. But here we are. Let's get into it. We have a 33 years old female, Katie Ferguson, who is still missing. To me, I don't know why this man is not charged with her disappearance, period. And we're going to get into that also. You tired and exhausted today, Artie Fox? Aw. So, welcome to Brooklyn. Oh, it's so cold in here, and I'm never cold. God damn. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad you are joining me today. If you're new, welcome. Please share this video, hit that like button, and please, the most important thing is keep these families and victims in your thoughts and prayers. Please keep the family in your thoughts and prayers. Hey, Marion, how are you? So, I have read up on this, right? So I don't really need to look at the thing, but just to make this just to make it, I want to make sure I got her age right. She is 33, right? November 2nd. Okay, that's all I need to know. And this was in where Artie Fox is from, Wyoming, Arkansas. I can't say it right. Now, this case is really strange, right? I want y'all to hear this case very clearly. A young 33 years old woman with two kids ends the relationship, or I don't know. I'm figuring she might have ended the relationship with her child's father. And I'll get into that too. I don't know why, but they decided to split. He calls her out of nowhere or texts her and decides to work on their relationship out of the blue. Do it for the kids. Let's just do it for the kids. You know how that goes, right? You know how, I mean, come on, if you're a mother and you've been in, or a father, and you've been in these relationships, you know how this goes. And for the sake of your children, you have that thought that says, you know what? I'll give him another chance. Maybe he does want to do right. Just for my kids. Especially when you got two younger kids. We're not talking about the adult kids, because the adult kids, they understand more, they get it. They're like, Mom, if he ain't right, if dad ain't good, then he ain't good. Keep it moving. It's all good. They have a more good understanding of it. But when it comes to the younger kids, our babies, that's when we get a little more vulnerable at. And we say, you know what? I'm going to give him another chance. And that's what happened in this case, allegedly. So she decides to give him another chance. And remind you, when she separated from him, she was already moving on her own thing. She moved away from him, got her own, I don't know, I think she got her own place, or was she living with her parents? I'm not sure. If you know Artie Fox, let me know in the comments. But yeah, she was doing her own thing until he popped back up and said, baby, let's work it out. Remember, we got two kids together. we got 2 kids together. Okay. Ah, yes, him. And I'm going to show y'all that too. I'm going to show y'all everything. So she decided, thank you, Artifox. So she decided to, you want to pop up here? How you feeling? I know you say you tired. You just gonna stay for a little bit, or you want to pop up here, or you good? Let me know. So she decided to, okay, babe, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you another chance. So then he comes with this great idea. You know what? Let's take a road trip with the kids. So she's like, all right, fine, let's take a road trip. Because it's for the kids too, you know? A good road trip. All right, let me just drop the link then. I may pop up in a bit. All right, well, if you want to, let me drop the link. I know you're tired today. So if you don't want to, it's good. If you do, you know, you're always welcome. So then they go on a road trip, right? And it would be good for the kids to probably, you know, be with mama and daddy at the same time and get to have some fun on the road trip, you know. But on the way to the road trip, the police stop her and they ask her a few questions. And she looks a little fragile. She looks a little fragile. But she answers and she tells the cops, you know, yeah, we broken up, but we're trying to get back together. And we was gonna go to this hotel, but something happened with the money, so we're going to this place. And you know, they ask her for her ID and everything, and she shows them as she's dribbling through the, you know, to get her ID, and the kids are in the car, and that's the last time she was seen. That is the last time this young 33 years old mother of 2 was seen. But that's not all.
The future of your business.
That is definitely not all.
First brought you the story a little over 2 weeks ago. We first brought you the story of Katie Ferguson, a missing Wyoming woman whose story stretches far beyond the surrounding states after she vanished on a road trip back to Wyoming from Alabama.
What's your name?
Catherine.
Ferguson.
Catherine.
Ferguson.
Does it like I think that was the last time she was seen alive, really.
On October 5th in Truman, Arkansas, police body cam shows 33-year-old Katie Ferguson sitting in the passenger seat of her boyfriend's car, 26-year-old Adam Aviles Jr. Their 2 young kids are also there, heading back to Cody, Wyoming from Alabama.
My mom thought she looked scared, but honestly, I think she looked like she didn't look good, you know.
Just to let y'all know, this is what I was talking about when the police saw them parked and they had talked to her and said the cop said she looked fragile, asked her where they were going and this and this and that. This is the part where she was seen.
Like, I think she looked like she had maybe, you know, just was tired.
The video shows the officer approach.
Okay. Well, I was just seeing a door open and looked suspicious, so I had to come check it out.
The last known time Katie was seen.
I think she looked worn out, and you know, with Everly crying in the background, you know, Adam was like, "Be quiet," and he was kind of just a jerk.
Say it again.
Arkansas an ID state?
Is it an ID state?
Must ID state?
Well, I just need to verify you.
I can't help but think if the police officer looked more into what was happening there, if she would still be with us.
The body cam footage surfaced thanks to a public records request from a Texas-based nonprofit called Solve the Case, dedicated to helping find missing persons.
I know
Detective Aaron
artifacts.
Benzick, the president of the nonprofit, says it shows important details.
So we know something between October 5th and then October 9th
I'm going
in
to get to
Texas
that
where a
part.
stop happens. And this projectile-like defect in the door is found. Katie's not found in the vehicle.
That defect, family says, was a bullet hole covered with duct tape. Aviles had been pulled over for erratic driving in Texas, but continued on his way to Wyoming, where he was eventually arrested on unrelated charges. Police found his car, along with dried blood in the passenger seat. Katie's family is awaiting DNA results.
I want to be the voice for my sister, be a voice for my sister because she doesn't have one.
Family fears Katie is dead, but is urging anyone who has information that can help bring her home to contact the Park County Sheriff's Department in Cody.
We want to keep the momentum going so the search doesn't ever stop until she's found.
I think closure would help the healing process so much.
In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
Now, that's the last time she was seen with this man. Right here. His name is Adam Aviles Jr. That's the last time the police seen her with him, but that is not the last time the police seen him. As you just heard, they saw him again, where he was stopped. They searched his vehicle. And this is the problem that I have, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people have too. Bullet holes in his vehicle, a plow mud of blood, and the smell of bleach. But not, and I repeat, there is no sign of this young lady. Period. Where is Katie Ferguson? They left together with the kids. Now, remind you, the kids and him came back on that nice old road trip that he decided to take with him and the two kids. But Katie didn't come back with them. So what the hell happened? Well, I could just imagine. Listen, it don't take a scientist to figure out what the hell happened. But the problem is, he was charged, but not nothing on her, not with her case. This damn thing is in the way. He was charged on possession. Now, I saw I had saw something that Miss Nancy Grace did, right? And I didn't see the whole thing to keep it 100 with you. I stopped it and I was like, oh, you know what? I'll show it with you guys. And the reason I'm going to show Miss Nancy Grace is because when I looked in the comments section, Katie's brother was in the comments section. So when there's family in the comments section, that tells me something about the person that is doing that news report or content. So we're going to listen to a little bit. We're going to listen to the whole thing of Miss Nancy Grace. And let's see what she has to say with her people. Because Katie's brother was in the comment section. And he was on point with what, he was feeling what she was saying. Okay. Now, why isn't he charged with her disappearance? You have all the evidence right there. How long does it take for DNA to come back? I'm sure the DNA came back already.
In the body cam footage folding baby clothes. A toddler climbs in the front seat area between her parents. The officer asks how they are doing. Katie Ferguson tells the officer they are a bit tired, but when the officer asks to see some ID, Katie says hers is in a bag in the back.
Like even
Adam
Nancy
Aviles
listens to
starts
the
asking
content.
questions. Did someone call the police on them? Is Arkansas an ID state? Aviles bristles
Oh,
at
I
being
wanted to
asked for
put
ID.
something
He
else
tells
up
the
on
officer
the
they
page.
aren't doing anything wrong.
And here comes the clue. Just before Katie seemingly vanishes, and remember that the cop approaches them not because they did anything wrong, but because he sees the car parked with the door open. So he walks over, and there is Katie, perfectly fine, the baby in the car, folding up baby clothes. And he's asking,
Folding up
hey,
baby clothes.
what's going on? Why is your door open? And we have the body cam footage. We can see her. We can hear her. I want you to see it and hear it with me. Take a listen.
How you guys doing?
Oh, okay.
What you guys up to?
No, you know. Yeah, trying to clean up, head over to Jonesboro.
Say it again?
Trying to clean up and head over to Jonesboro. How are you doing?
Okay. Well, I was just seeing a door open and looked suspicious, so I had to come check it out.
Yeah, we're going back.
So are you guys out of Wyoming, or?
Yeah, we're going back.
You went back?
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have a ID or anything?
Yeah. Arkansas ID state? Is Arkansas an ID state?
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times when I was in the district attorney's office, I'll be riding along to find a witness or whatever, and a cop will ask somebody for ID, and the first thing they say is why. They don't just get out the ID and show it. They always say why. And of course, in America, you can do that. You know, you go to Russia or China, you get clubbed. But here, you say, why do you want my ID? And that's what he did. But as you can hear, the children in the car playing, everything's fine. She's sitting in the front seat folding baby clothes. We see her, we hear her, all is well. Listen to this.
Now, I didn't. Now, remember when I said, wonder why they broke up? Why did she dump her husband, or what was the situation in that relationship? And I just found out just now. Domestic violence. And I'm going to show you what her father wrote and everything, okay? Just bear with me, guys. I need to stick to doing probably 2 cases a week, right? Like, this is a lot. I got a lot going on. But I can never just stick to doing 2 cases a week. I'm hard-headed like that.
Say it again.
Is Arkansas an ID state?
Is it an ID?
A must ID state?
Well, I just need to verify you.
I don't think we've done that. I don't think we're breaking the law.
Okay.
If you got a call called on us, I don't think we've done that.
Well, I mean, it is a suspicious vehicle in the parking lot, so.
Someone called in or you go through?
I was driving right here and I seen you guys.
No one called in.
So.
Okay. Yeah, then I won't. If it's not, if Arkansas isn't a must ID.
Do you have your ID on you?
I know it very well.
What's your name?
Catherine.
Catherine.
Ferguson.
Ferguson? Out of Wyoming?
Well, he's right. This is her boyfriend talking. He's right. Joining me is Katie's mother, Mona Hartling, and her brother, who contacted us on Facebook about his missing sister, Alan Ferguson. But first to James Shelnut, high-profile lawyer out of Alabama. 27 years, Metro major case, including SWAT, now the lead at the Shelnut Law Firm. James Shelnut, now remember, we're not in L1 crim law. Just give me a yes, no. Under U.S. v. Terry, cops can stop and ask for ID if they see anything suspicious. And I'm telling you what, if they didn't ask for ID, we'd all be 3 inches up their tailpipe right now, because you've got 2 children in the car. You've got a guy who doesn't want to show you his ID. You've got a woman who says, yeah, it's in the back of one of those bags. The cop is not going to go through the diaper bag looking for the ID.
Movavi Video Editor is an easy tool for beginner creators like you.
But when you have children in the car, you have to find out, why are you pulled over? Who are these children? Are they your children? What's happening? There's nothing wrong with what the cop did.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with what he did. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He was investigating a suspicious situation, and he did exactly what protocol is, probably followed his policy, followed the law. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Guys, we've got more body cam footage, and it's not relevant really about their ID or why they had the door open. They obviously were taking a breather from driving and folding clothes and getting the children situated. What I'm looking at is her. It's all I care about. Her, Katie. What is her demeanor? Does she look like she's in any danger? Is there some problem? We've got one more little bit of body cam. Let's look at it.
We've been at a hotel in Priceland, just went to the money, so.
How long you guys been here in Truman?
Just one night, yeah. An officer.
You guys just passing through?
Yeah. Yeah, an officer came to the dollar store.
So what are you guys doing over in this area? I'm like traveling this way. You guys family or?
Yeah. Well, no.
She was down in Alabama.
Yeah.
Say it again.
I was with my family, and then he came up.
Where's your family? In Jonesboro?
No. It's all the way way down towards Florida and stuff. And I took the girls for a while, and we separated for a while, and then we came back together. So he drove down to see me, and we decided to get back together and take care of the girls. So.
Gotcha.
This is just away from Cody, Wyoming.
Okay.
Alabama.
Yeah, I don't want to be here.
All right. All right.
Cop says, all right, and walks away. And, I heard one thing. I don't know if you could hear it, but I have the transcription, so it was easier for me to hear it. And I would always do that with juries whenever there's anything they're supposed to hear, like a tape recording, and there's not an audio visual or they can't see it. I always do a transcription so they can read it as they're hearing it.
But what made the officers, stop and step up to them and ask them anything? Which is a good thing, but like Kathy B said, is that the law? Can they just come up to you when you minding your own business and just start fucking with her, messing with you, asking you all type of questions? I am kind of glad they did at this time, though, because they was the last person to see her and this video came out. But any other time, what's up with that? If I'm parked in my car minding my business with my man, why are you? But in a way, can I look at it to be a good thing? Because he could be harassing me. He could be doing some sneaky shit. He could be a psychopath serial killer. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it is a good thing. I don't know. You can see it for both sides. Suspicious that the car was just sitting there chilling with the doors open. See, in the city, we do that. I don't know about out there. See, I'm so used to that though. And the city is like that. So, but I see what, yeah, I guess out there, cops are, yeah. Okay.
The cop
It's
says
weird in the city.
exactly. The boyfriend
Well, I
says
moved
it's
out of
away from
there.
Cody. And Katie Ferguson says, I don't want to be here. I find that really interesting. Okay, joining me, Mona Hartling.
She
This is
said, I
Katie's
don't want to
mother,
be
who has
here.
led an insane, desperate search to find her daughter. Alan Ferguson is her brother who first alerted us to her disappearance. Miss Hartling, thank you for
Was
being with us.
that
Did you know
a
that your
hint?
daughter was going, yes, ma'am, on this trip with the boyfriend and the children? Did you know they were heading across country?
I did.
What did she
I
tell
did
you?
know.
Why did they decide to take the trip?
It's the cycle abuse. We came down here to start afresh, me and the babies and Katie, to get away from Adam. We were in a safe house in Powell, Wyoming, which is next to Cody. Once we left the safe house, we saw him everywhere we went in Cody, Wyoming. So we started fresh down here in Alabama. We were down here a few months, and just the cycle of abuse is why I believe she reached out to Adam. And the 3-year-old at the time, she was 3, wanted to talk to Daddy. And I believe that's how it just started.
Wanted Daddy. I understand. Joining me, an all-star panel in addition to Katie's mother and brother, Alan Ferguson, Katie's brother. When did you first realize Katie was missing?
We hadn't talked in about maybe a month or so. And my mom had called me basically saying, I'm worried about your sister. We haven't heard from her. I continued, so I got on Instagram and Snapchat, and that's how we normally talk. And so I kept messaging her over and over and over, messaged her on Facebook and tried to call her 1,000 times, and nothing happened. And eventually I was getting off work and I got a text from my mom that said I had to report Katie missing. And for some reason in my gut, right then I just knew, because Adam, when I was over and back in Wyoming, at Adam and Katie's house, I had been privy to plenty of times where Adam had been screaming at Katie, and he's told her many of times that he wanted to dispose of her and take the kids, and I would be there to stand up for her, and my mom would be there, and it was just a cycle of the same thing over and over, and I would tell her to leave. But during that moment, when my mom texted me that, I just knew deep down that something was seriously wrong.
Hold on just a second. I want to circle back to that moment.
I want to circle back to that moment too. Hi, Cynthia. How are you, my love? Thank you for joining. So there were threats. This was domestic violence. There were threats. Did he make those threats out? And these are witnesses. Her family witnessed these threats. Why are the police ignoring this? Why? Why are they ignoring this? This is crazy. You got the bullet wounds, you got the blood, you got the smell of the bleach. What else did they find in there, for God's sakes? Why is it twirling?
You're telling me what has led up to this moment, but when they were pulled over with the door open in the parking lot, well, they weren't pulled over. When the cop approached their car in Arkansas, in Truman, Arkansas, when he saw that car door open, we see her, we hear her, and everything is seemingly fine. Joining me right now, a longtime colleague and who I consider a friend, Chris Adams, also known as the Turtle Man. He is a survival expert. And I believe this guy. As a matter of fact, I took the twins, my children, down to see the Okefenokee, one of the biggest swamps in the world. And Chris Adams, I trusted him, and I got on the boat with him and the children, and we went through the swamp, and we hadn't been out there 40 minutes. Excuse me, hadn't been out there 5 minutes before we saw 40 gators coming up from the water. That's how much I believe in this guy. Chris Adams, aka Turtle Man, on Facebook, Wiregrass Ecological and Cultural Project, on TikTok at Georgia Turtle Man. Chris, thank you for being with us. This terrain, you know, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I've had it happen with plenty of people. I can't even count them. They're in a car with their loved one, and they get into an argument. And children, although they've changed my world, as I've told you, Chris, you put the children in the car, you're on a long trip, they're crying, they're playing, they're hungry. You get into a fight with the spouse or the partner, and things escalate. Very often somebody gets out and storms off. It happens. Did it happen here? Maybe it started that way. I don't know that. I've got a lot of theories on what happened, but I want to talk about the terrain. Was she pushed out of the car? Was she forced out of the car? Did she get out of the car there? How could anyone survive at that time, November, in those conditions? What can you tell me? Would you have to be an expert like you, or could a regular civilian go out and live?
I think it all depends on the scenario itself and where they actually got out of the car. We know that she was last seen in Truman, Arkansas, but going from there, I believe I heard mention possibly to Texarkana.
They were going that way, yes. That's the way they were headed.
That's hilly country through there, very hilly country. And of course, you've got pine barrens, you've got large stands of oak and oak savanna, grassland areas, hilly, rocky, and there are rivers and creeks that go through there. As with any environment, one has to be careful where they actually walk through to avoid stepping in a hole, twisting an ankle, something like that. And depending on the terrain, whether it's easy or hard to navigate, will determine whether a person can survive there long term. And being that they were off of a major highway at some point, or byway, normally you would be near some sort of civilization, people living there, housing community, farms. So it's not like we just think that she's out there in a wilderness area, perhaps. I don't think there's enough information circulating around for me to determine that myself.
I agree, but certainly between Truman, Arkansas and Texarkana, there's a lot of wide open spaces.
This girl was terrified of this man. Let me just read you a few things what she said. Angela told the news channel she helped her stepdaughter get a hotel room and send her money. We didn't know where we were going to do, and we were almost out of gas, Katie wrote back to Angela. We are so exhausted. We just wanted to get as far away from him as we can because we're tired of looking over our shoulders. I'm scared to take the girls anywhere. So this is when they separated because he was so abusive. He was so abusive. She had to escape him. She had to escape him. This girl was terrified. She was looking over her shoulder. She didn't know what he was going to do. So when the cop seen her in that vehicle and she said to the cop, "I don't want to be here," was that a signal? Could have that been a signal?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, it's not the
Absolutely.
swamp, of course, but the terrain you were describing, that's what I'm thinking about, because best case scenario right now, she stomped out of the car. Do I think that happened? Probably not, because she would not leave those children. If she left, she'd take them with her. Unless she got into an argument, likely started by him, but got into an argument and she got out of the car and he takes off before she could get the children. Or they get in an argument and he puts her out of the car or hits her. I don't know. There's a million ways this could have gone down. Was she injured when she got out of the car? Was she dumped somewhere? But how long could you survive? She hasn't turned up in anybody's home. Average temps, Arkansas, high 40s to 70s. Could she have survived? There's been no report of her approaching someone's home, hospital, shelter, nothing. So for all I know, she's in the wilderness. I don't know where she is. She could be down a ravine. She could be anywhere. How could she live, Chris Adams?
Well, this goes back to several cases I've been on you with now, and I always, this may sound like
You
my
believe
go-to
too
line,
that
but
was a sign, but
hypothermia is
nobody
always a
listened.
real
Nobody
risk.
caught it.
It doesn't matter if it's 80 degrees outside or if it dips down into just above freezing temperatures. If the
Make
body
sure y'all hit
has
the
moisture on
like
it,
button,
if
please.
the air has moisture in it and temperatures drop or your body temperature drops, one can suffer from hypothermia. And as far as foraging foods and things, most of the woodland trees have dropped their mass this time of year. There's no acorns. There's nothing you can forage like that. And most people who don't have that experience don't know to look for those things. And that's just the reality of the situation here.
I'm looking at her in the car the last time she was seen alive, and she's got on shorts and a t-shirt. So
not conducive for this type of terrain at all.
And I think she's got on socks, shorts, and a t-shirt. And like, you know, everybody that's got children in the car is a jumble. Nobody knows where anything is. It's a big confusion. They're in the back seat playing and crying and trying to get into the front seat. Like everybody's car when you have children in the back seat. I'm just trying to figure out, Chris Adams, how she could make it. Again, to Mona Hartling, this is Catherine Ferguson, aka Katie's mother. When was the last time you actually spoke to her verbally?
I spoke to her. I had the baby for a couple weeks. I was living with both of them for a while, Adam and Katie, when he first came down. And I had Everly for a couple weeks. So it was the end of, I want to say August, beginning of September. It was like the 5th or 6th, around there of September. And she was mad at me because I didn't want to go with them. I was always for her and with her.
So we know that Katie is alive and well October 5. October 5,
5th.
There in Truman, Arkansas. We see her. She's fine. She's speaking to cops. How did we get here? How are these two, who obviously have a very volatile relationship, how are they in the car with children going cross country? Take a listen to our cut 4.
Now, she was last seen, that was the 5th, right? So check this out. When the car was stopped in Colorado on October 11th, she was no longer seen in the car. According to a criminal complaint filed by the FBI, during the trip, Mr. Alvis Jr., which is the baby's father, the ex-boyfriend, his Dodge vehicle was pulled over 3 times in different states on the way to Wyoming. Why was it pulled over 3 times in different states on the way to Wyoming? When the car was stopped in Colorado on the 11th of October, Mrs. Ferguson was no longer seen in it. Interesting. He told the cop that Miss Ferguson, Miss Katie, was not with him or his 2 daughters for the rest of the trip. Because when they stopped at Little Rock, Arkansas, she did a drug run and had not been heard from since. Wow. So he is saying that, and let me make sure I'm saying she did a drug run. Okay. So we have problems with addiction. And hey, been there, done that. Okay? Y'all know that already. We don't judge over here on this platform. But that's the excuse that he has said. See, he knows, right, allegedly, that if she does have an addiction problem, that's a great excuse for the police. I can take her out and just say, hey, she's out there using somewhere. Wow. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
For 8 years, Katie Ferguson and Adam Aviles had an on-again, off-again relationship. Living in Wyoming, they share 2 daughters, both under 5 years old. Katie and Adam separate. Adam stays in Cody, Wyoming. Katie and the girls move in with Ferguson's mother, Mona Hartling, in Dothan, Alabama. After spending the summer with her mother, Katie Ferguson wants the girls to have time with their dad. Katie Ferguson tells her family Adam has really grown up during their 4-month separation. Adam starts the round-trip drive from Wyoming to pick up Katie and the girls.
That is how these 2 end up in the car together. Adam Aviles decides to go at her request to get Katie and the girls, and he starts the round trip drive from Wyoming to pick them up. That is how they end up in the car together. It's eerily reminiscent of another case. I think you all are familiar with the case of Gabby Petito. Take a listen to our cut 21.
How's it going? How are you doing? Good. Hey, we got a call about a male hitting a female and the 2 of them getting in this vehicle and taking off.
So I don't want to try and defend myself by saying anything here, but I pushed her away. She gets really worked up, and when she does, she swings and she had her cell phone in her hand. So I was just trying to push her away. But Gabrielle, talking about fiance, right?
And more in 24.
I told him to drive and get water because I was getting thirsty.
Yeah? Is there something on your cheek here? Looks like did you get hit in the face? Kind of looks like something like hit you in the face. And then over on your arm, shoulder, right here. That's new, huh? It's kind of a new mark.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Can I see the other side of your face? So, what happened here and here?
I'm not sure. It was a. I was just trying to get in the back of the car and his backpack was on the back. And got me.
So the backpack got you?
I just wonder if that Truman, Arkansas cop suspected abuse.
Thank you,
He spoke to
Nancy.
both of them. He looked in the car.
Thank
He
you,
asked for
Nancy.
ID. He asked her, is everything okay? What's happening? Where are you from? Where are you going? But there was nothing he could hang his hat on. And Gabby Petito, there was. 2 witnesses had seen Brian Laundrie beating her in the face. You heard earlier our friend Chris Adams, Turtle Man, talking about other cases we've worked on together. That's one of them. He was seen beating her in the face, yet they told him he had done nothing wrong. Within hours, Gabby was dead.
Look at that.
Did this cop in Truman, Arkansas have a sixth sense? You'll see what I mean. Take a listen to our Cut 7 Crime Online. Rachel Bonilla.
4 days after the police encounter in Truman, Arkansas, the Dodge Durango with Adam Aviles behind the wheel is captured by a Texas DPS patrol camera. 2 things are noticeably different from the previous police encounter. Katie Ferguson is not in the vehicle, and there's a projectile hole in the front passenger side door concealed with tape. Body cam footage from Arkansas clearly shows there is no hole in the passenger's side door. The front passenger seat of the car has a pile of clothes on it. 2 days later, Aviles is stopped again, this time by Colorado State Police. And, just as in Texas, Adam Aviles and the 2 girls are present, but Katie Ferguson is missing.
Back to you, Chris Adams. It reminds me so much of the Gabby Petito case. Remember, Brian Laundrie crosses the country in Gabby's vehicle using her credit card and her cell phone. He gets all the way back to Florida to his mommy's house. And then they go on a camping trip with mommy, daddy, and sister. What nobody notices, Gabby's not there. Everything's there but Gabby. Is that ringing a bell? Chris Adams, remember when we just went through the whole thing with Gabby?
The answers we need
Ain't
aren't
this some
coming forth.
crazy shit,
And
boy?
what we assume is that she went missing somewhere between Truman, Arkansas, and somewhere near the Texas line.
So my question to you, between Truman, Arkansas and the Texas line, what's the terrain?
I wonder if these psychopaths get these ideas from these other psychopaths that had already been arrested, because it's just too coincidence. It's just too much. Did he get this idea from the Gabby Petito case? Oh, well, let me do this. Oh, because my goodness, I really wonder that sometimes with these psychopaths. Do they get these ideas from this? Yes, and the police didn't see the signs either, and they were there for sure. Right. Yes, and the police didn't see the signs either, and they were there for sure. Right. She said, I don't want to be here. Sad. And there was something else I was going to mention on this thing here. Damn, what was it? I forgot, but I'll get back to that. But yeah, this is some foul oh, I know what I was gonna say. You know how the police don't, when you're an addict or you're homeless or you're just not that important to the certain police. So they're not gonna go hard looking for you. And the fact that this is said that allegedly she was in her addiction is probably why the police is dropped the ball. On the Gabby's case, her face was red from being smacked. See? And now her body is in the grave. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Because once again, the police just doesn't. And now that this young lady is said was, she wouldn't take a drug run, which if she which is probably definitely not true, but he's putting out that she's an addict. And the police don't care about us. The police don't care about if you're homeless, if you're an addict, if you go missing, child, you listen.
The
Because she
terrain,
lived.
like I said, is very
You better
hilly.
hope you got
But what
multiple
I
years
just
clean.
was thinking about, deer season is in the southern Arkansas zones. There are plenty of outdoorsmen out in the woods. Any sign
It was
of
something
something
that I wanted to
different,
show y'all after
any
this.
person walking through the woods in those places near those major highways would be on some sort of a trail camera. There would be some evidence left behind. There are thousands of people in the woods right now in Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, that whole area. So something amiss would be spotted very quickly.
I think you're right
if
about
it
that,
were
Chris Adams.
blatant.
Nicole Parton joining me, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Nicole, thank you for being with us. I got to make sense of what I have just heard, what Chris has told me, but also what Rachel Bonilla is reporting. 4 days after the police encounter in Truman, Arkansas, Adams Dodge Durango is captured by the Texas patrol camera. Two things very different. Now, that could be a toll booth. That could be a red light cam. It could be any number of cameras. Two things very different. Number one, Katie is not in the vehicle.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so...
There you go.
The body cam footage in Arkansas shows a very different scenario. The front passenger seat has a pile of clothes on it. The next time he's stopped in Colorado, just
And
like
the
Texas,
Glock
Adam,
they
Aviles,
found.
and the two girls are present, but no Katie. So she's not present in
Hey,
Texas
Barbara.
on cam. She's not present in Colorado. So somewhere between Truman, Arkansas, and Texas, she goes missing. Also important, what am I hearing, Nicole Parton, about a projectile hole in the front passenger door concealed with tape?
Right. So we know in that October footage, you've seen it, I've seen it, there's no hole in the door. We can see the door. And then the next time we have any footage whatsoever, we can see there's a hole in the passenger door, and it's taped up now, we're being told. So there's a hole, someone trying to conceal the hole and tape it up. And then we also, interesting, there's a large heap of clothing covering the passenger seat. So now we know there's clothing. We see that in the first footage. But now the whole seat is piled high, a pile of clothing in that passenger seat. Is that to hide something in the seat?
Well, I don't know. How
Katie?
many children do you have?
10.
Okay. There's any number of reasons that all the children's clothes are piled in the front seat. If you look to my minivan right now, you would see the entire front passenger floor is full of children's clothing. But there's more. I want you to hear this, and this has knocked me off my feet. Take a listen again to Rachel Bonilla.
Adam Aviles and his two daughters arrive in Wyoming. They move into his father's house. He has his two girls, but Katie Ferguson is not with them. After several days of not hearing from Katie, her mother calls the Parks County Sheriff's Office in Wyoming and reports her daughter missing. The last known time Ferguson was seen was October 5th in Arkansas. That was the same day the couple was approached in the parking lot by police.
Mona Hartling, this is Katie's mother, and Alan Ferguson, her brother, who is they're both beside themselves, and contacted me on Facebook. Mona, tell me what led you to call police? What happened that made you contact them and report her missing? I mean, he shows up, he moves into his dad's house with the children without her. Nobody noticed she was gone?
No, nobody. He didn't tell anybody that she was missing. He didn't contact the police. He didn't contact both her sisters live there in Cody where he's at. He contacted nobody.
That's strange. Weird. Why wouldn't you contact the police if your girlfriend is missing? The mother of your child, both your children. You go on this road trip with her. You wanted her back in your life. Why wouldn't you contact the police? And let's not forget, they not only found the blood, the scent of the bleach, the bullets, but they found the Glock also. Okay, they found the Glock also.
Alan?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just say he didn't even report his the 1-year-old's burns. She had 2nd and 3rd degree burns on her, and he kept those hid so that he didn't have to take her to the hospital or report it to the police.
When was that?
He kept the burns hid when he got back from his mother, Stacy. She has the grandbabies. They are safe. She's a wonderful grandmother. But when I called and had the police involved right away, I also said those kids need to be took away from him. And they did. Within 2 days, they took the babies away.
No, poor baby had burns all over her body.
And the grandmother saw the burns right away. He had kept them hidden from her.
How did the baby get burns?
What?
They asked the 4-year-old and Harlow, and she said that Everly fell in the campfire. So they've been camping. Yes, they've been camping along the way.
Okay, that's telling me a lot. And the baby Everly fell into the campfire. Everly is 1, daughter Harlow is 4, is my understanding.
Yes.
Okay, that is changing things. Chris
She can't
Adams,
even walk yet.
Chris Adams with me, survival expert. That tells me, as I suspected, that they actually camped out on this trip. I don't know that that was intended, but the 1-year-old falls into the campfire. So she is out there.
So there again, with lack of details, we don't know where out there is. We can assume that it is somewhere off of a major highway, be it a national park, historic site, state park, but we don't know which one. We don't know what the terrain there was, and we simply don't even begin to know where to look for them unless anybody has an idea of where they stayed at.
Mona Hartling, you've just heard from police and they tell you they've got the phone records, right?
Yes.
That should tell us where her phone last pinged. Have they told you that yet?
No, the detective was going over it with the FBI.
Also joining me, renowned in his field, former detective Justin Boardman, Utah West Valley PD Special Victims Unit, now Boardman Training and Consulting. You know what I don't like, Justin? So many things. But the fact that he shows up and doesn't tell Mona or Alan or anyone in Katie's family, hey, Katie didn't make the trip back. Nothing. He just shows up and moves in to his dad's house.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. That bothers me as well. But also what bothers me is a 1-year-old that has burns, especially if the 1-year-old's not able to walk yet. How did it end
How
up
did she
there?
fall into a campfire if she can't walk?
Was there a struggle? Was there, that sort of thing?
Well, along that line, Justin Boardman, and you should know with all the cases you've handled, if a child gets burned at a campfire, you go at least to a doc in the box, at the very least, a little emergency clinic. So why would you choose not to go to the ER or the doc in a box? Why?
Because you're hiding something.
Exactly, Justin. I'm just thinking, and Justin, please jump in whenever you have a thought. You've seen these scenarios so many times. Also joining me, Dr. Sherry Schwartz, forensic psychologist specializing in victim advocacy. She's at panthermitigation.com, and on Twitter, she's at TrialDoc, author of Criminal Behavior and where law and psychology intersect.
Just to stop you for a minute, Nancy. Give me a second, girl. Give me a second, girl. The vehicle that they were in was found blood, a lot of blood on the passenger floor, and the seat is missing. The passenger seat where Katie sits at. There is a bullet hole in the door on the passenger side. Katie is missing but presumes not with us anymore. Adam Avile is in jail but not charged with her disappearance at all. So you have not only blood, smell, bullet, but where she was sitting at, that part was missing also. I mean, what are the cops waiting for to charge this asshole? A body? Well, we know they don't need that. We've seen cases where they didn't need a body. They have more evidence here than they did in the Cody Bias case. And he was just charged with the disappearance of his son. So what the hell is going on here? What are they waiting for?
Sherry, I want you to hear this. Take a listen to investigative reporter Jackie Howard.
Katie Ferguson missed her youngest daughter's first birthday. Family members say she is not one to hide, and she wouldn't willingly stop talking to family. But that's not what Adam Aviles
That's
is
what I'm
telling
wondering
police.
too, Cynthia.
Speaking
Where's
to
that
cops
at?
November 8th, he reportedly told officers that Katie was not missing, but she just does not want contact with her mother. And there's more being said. The Cowboy State Daily reports during an interview with the children, one of the girls tells investigators that the father accidentally hurt her mother.
You know, that's reminding me of Dr. Sherry Schwartz, and we've discussed this together before. The case of Susan Powell, who the husband, Josh Powell, wakes up his little boys, I think ages 2 and 4, and takes the whole family on a camping trip at midnight in the snow. When they were later asked about where's mommy, one of them draws a picture with mommy in the car trunk, and the other tells investigators mommy's in the crystal mines. Okay. Now we've got a child stating daddy accidentally hurt mommy.
She's seen it.
So how does a child know how to say accidentally hurt?
Accidentally hurt.
I'm just very curious, Dr. Sherry Schwartz.
Because that's what he
Right.
told her.
Well, my educated guess is that daddy said it was an accident. And if anybody asked, it was an accident. Daddy didn't mean to do it. Right. And at 4 years old, you are completely at the mercy of the adults around you, particularly if daddy is scary and does scary things. Right. So if daddy says, this is what happened, that's what you're going to say happened. I don't think the child's lying. I think the child believes daddy because this is her daddy, and why would he lie to her?
Just like daddy, Josh Powell said, mommy's in the crystal mines. You know, I just want to be very clear.
Oh, you
everything
do?
I know about this family and about Katie,
Cynthia?
There's no way she would have left her children.
What if I told you that instead of setting up a green screen, you can just
I'm going to look that case up.
No way. She's left her children before one time.
It is
for a
BS,
couple
you
weeks
know.
with her
It sure the hell
mother.
is. This is crazy.
Her mother. And joining me
That's
right now
cold.
is Katie's mother
My
and
feet.
brother. And they are asking, and I am asking for your help in finding Katie. The tip line is 307-527-8710. Repeat, 307-527-8710. And I want to go back to Katie's mother, Mona Hartling, and her brother, Alan Ferguson.
It's crazy.
Mona, has she ever missed the children's birthdays?
No, never. And Everly, this was her first birthday. She
Mm.
would never miss a birthday. She would never walk away like this.
That was her first birthday?
Wow.
Yes.
Has she ever abandoned the children before? Ever?
No, she does not. She's a good mom. All she ever wanted to be was a mother. That's all she ever wanted to be. Those babies are her heart.
Is that why she got back with Avila? Because the babies wanted daddy. They want to talk to daddy.
I believe so. I believe so.
See?
You know, it's
The
just
youngest,
the youngest
yes,
what?
never even met her father.
Mm.
We had the baby since Katie was with me, and we were in the safe house when the baby was born.
Why were you in a safe house?
Because of him.
Why? What did he do to make you go into hiding in a safe house with Katie?
The abuse got too bad.
What abuse?
It was physical and mental.
When you say physical, what exactly do you mean?
He had jumped on her, choked her out when she was pregnant, left marks on her arms, big bruises. She would never report it.
Why?
These girls out there have to report this.
That's
Why
right.
did she not report it?
I believe fear.
It's an abuse cycle.
The abuse cycle where you want it to be like the Hallmark card and you believe it to be, and you want the man, and typically it is the man, to be the person you thought you married or you thought you had children with, and you believe it so much you're ready to stake everything on it, including your life. You mean that cycle?
Yeah.
It takes up to 7 times for an abuse victim to finally leave their abuser, and sometimes that doesn't even happen.
Dr. Sherry Schwartz, how is it? And I not only prosecuted domestic homicides and aggravated assaults, more than I can count.
Wow.
I worked at the Battered Women's Center
We
for
got,
many
oh
years on the
man.
hotline. Dr. Sherry Schwartz, how is it that we, particularly women, have this in our heads so strongly, and we want that nuclear family to be perfect, that we are willing to suspend disbelief and continue in an abusive relationship? How does this happen?
Well, there's a number of reasons. I mean, there's a very complex concept that I'll make very simple called a trauma bond. And basically, when it's really good, the relationship, it's the best ever, right? And all of your positive emotions and positive hormones are flowing. And when it's really bad, it's bad. But you know that is followed up by the really good. And so the really good positively reinforces the bad, because you know the good is coming. But there's other factors as well. I mean, one of the most basic is you love this person. You want to believe the best of them. You want your children to have their father, their other parent in their life. You may have money issues, so you can't leave that person. So there are so many factors. And Alan is absolutely correct. It takes 5 to 7 times. And when a victim is trying to leave their abuser, as you know, Nancy, as a prosecutor, that is the most dangerous time for them.
And yes. I heard Mona Hartling, her mother, say that he, quote, choked her out when she was pregnant.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. The most dangerous time, because it becomes fatal attraction. If I can't have you, no one can. I don't know if you ladies been through it. I know some of my my Brooklyn squads have been through this, because I know I've been through this also. Domestic violence is serious. We've talked about it on this platform. You would be here 1 minute and your family would be burying you the next, if they could find you. So if you are ever in that situation, please speak up. Speak up. Because the main part of that is control. They feel like, and they know that they got control over us. This man had control over her. You see how fast he caught her to work things out and the excuse he used was, it's because of the kids. See, he knew her weakness is her babies. I have been there, for sure. Yes, yes, Cynthia. I'm gonna do a live on this also. And I said this before, but I wanted to have somebody here that has in that field that has either a doctor degree or even a certificate of some type of degree, psychiatrist or something, before I do what I'm going to do on this platform with domestic violence. Yeah. But I still want to do that. Yes, please speak up and reach out to somebody as soon as possible. Yes, please do. Please. These men, or it's not even always men, females is aggressive also. It's not always the men. We have some females that are aggressor, that are the abuser as well. Never go back to an abuser. Right. Never go back. That's the most thing that happens a lot. Like in this situation, he knew her weak spot is her kids. So he used that in his game of chess. And she took the bait. She said, okay, I'm going to work it out for the babies. And now her family is trying to find her. This was already a crime scene before it even became public knowledge on the internet. As in, it was already a crime going on behind closed doors. He was already abusing her. He was already manipulating her. She was running for her life. She had to go into a safe house to get away from him. This is a monster. And don't ever believe what they say. Will say anything to get you right and to hurt you right. Because they're manipulators. They're narcissists. And this is what happened. He got what he thought would get her. And that was, he used her kids against her to get back into her good part. And now she's missing. Beautiful 33 years old young mother of two is missing. She should be splattered all over the internet, all over the news, especially with the evidence that they have. And instead, she's not. And you know why, I think? Because he used the drug card. She's a drug addict. That's the first time I've seen that he said that. I know that I've seen that she went and stopped at a casino or something like that. But yeah, this is crazy, man.
The number one cause of death of pregnant women, and I couldn't believe this when I heard it. I had to look it up in the New England Journal of Medicine.
He already
is
knew
homicide.
what would work, and
Number
he
one
had a
cause of
plan
death
for
of
sure.
pregnant women
Right.
is homicide. I thought it would be a stroke or a heart attack or something to do with the pregnancy itself. No, it's not. And I couldn't believe it until I looked it up myself. Well, the very best of the relationship and the very worst of the relationship. Take a listen to our cut 11 Sydney Sumner, Crime Online.
On November 4th, someone reports Adam Aviles' Dodge Durango as abandoned in Park County. Deputies investigate and find not only has the front passenger seat been removed, there is a projectile hole through the passenger door. Officers find a loaded Glock 45 pistol magazine and Clorox wipes. They say the car smells of putrefied blood. As deputies are still investigating, Adam Aviles walks up to the car with a gas can, telling deputies the Durango ran out of gas and was inoperable.
Nicole Parton, do I understand this correctly? A projectile hole through the passenger door, a loaded Glock 45 pistol mag, and Clorox wipes. And the car smells, according to police, like putrefied blood.
Right, that's correct. And the front passenger seat is missing. The seat's not even in the truck anymore. It's missing. Also, it's reported that there were clothes and rags that were covered in blood and a lot of cleaning supplies in the back of the truck.
It is harkens me back to the case of missing mom of 5 from Connecticut, Jennifer Dulos.
It's
Cops
okay, Cynthia.
finally get a hold
I
of the
get you,
car
baby. I
that her
understand.
husband, Fotis Dulos, had borrowed. The back seat had been removed and replaced with a different type of back seat. Let me go now to Mom Mona Hartling and brother Alan Ferguson.
While you doing that, Nancy, I'm gonna read over here the fear that this man put her through. I don't want to be stranded on the side of the road with my 2 kids. I know you probably all are thinking, well, you should have thought about this and planned this out before you left. But Adam keeps following us. I kept seeing him everywhere. I couldn't stay in Cody City in Wyoming. I'm not asking for a lot. I just need help. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're almost out of gas. We're exhausted. We just want to get as far as we can from him. I'm tired of looking over my shoulder. I'm scared. I'm scared to take the girls anywhere. This was what Katie Ferguson texted her stepmother. She was terrified of this man.
Alan, what do you think has happened?
I truly believe that he has done something to her with the evidence they have so far, and we know the blood has came back as human blood. We don't have the DNA test back, but we do know it's human blood.
It's our answer.
Me and my sister were very close. Me and Katie were raised by my mother, and my other 2 sisters were raised by my father. And so we were just always very, very close. And it's weird, I can't explain it, but the moment I heard about it, I just knew that she wasn't with us. It's not that I don't want to give up hope or anything like that. It's just something that you can feel. And then when the evidence came out more and more, I do believe that he did something with her. I believe the fire has something to do with it. I believe that he
Yeah.
possibly disposed of her in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I
They
believe
also
in
found,
water.
Yep.
What, Mona?
I believe it was he disposed of her in water.
Why do you think that?
Mother's gut instinct, and my son also is. We've had dreams. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous,
It
but
doesn't sound ridiculous to me at all.
dreams of her coming up.
Wait, dreams of what?
Her coming up out of a riverbank, not a sandy spot, a riverbank, and walking on a dirt path. And there's a campfire, and her arms are open, and she's just coming to me over and over, Mom, Mom,
Wow.
Mom. And she's deceased, and there's like moss in her hair, and yeah, I believe he did something. My son has also had dreams. She's not with us anymore.
Right.
yeah, he's definitely, I truly
Wow.
believe she's no longer with us.
Mm.
I also want people just to know how much of a beautiful person she was, and how goofy she
Right.
was, and how amazing and sweet and kind.
Yes.
That, she's not just another domestic violence victim. She was a real person, and she was such a beautiful, kind person, and just a really, really amazing sister.
She was a mother. She was a sister. She was a daughter. She was an auntie. There's a hole inside that will never be replaced. And I want women to know. I want women to know they can get out of it. I've been through it too. They can get out of it.
Yes, you
They
can.
can get out. There is hope. You just have to make the step forward and leave.
That's
And
right.
go somewhere safe.
You are hearing Katie's mother, Mona Hartling, and her brother, Alan Ferguson. And I agree with them. I think that, as they put it, Katie is no longer with us. But what we can do for them now is seek
Justice.
justice.
That's right.
By God.
So sad. So sad. Very, very sad. Sad, sad, sad. Victims blaming. Who's victim blaming? Sad, sad, sad victims blaming. Who's victim blaming, Barbara? Let me. Yeah, this is a very, very sad situation. So if you are in a domestic violence case, please, please, please remove yourself. It's not worth it. It really, really isn't. It really, really isn't. It's really sad because this young lady tried so hard to distance herself, to get away from this monster. I call them monsters. They're monsters. To get away from these monsters. And he willed his way back in. And she tried to do it for her kids. And we've all been, well, I'm gonna say I've been there. I can't speak for nobody else. You know what I mean? I've been there. Oh, I'm gonna try to work it out one more time for him. And it doesn't work. It doesn't help. It really, really doesn't at all. You know, uh, they just manipulate and just be a narcissist that they are. It's not worth it. Uh, there is plenty of best men out there. Yes, they are. They are. There are. There are. It just wasn't him. You know. You've been there too. Yeah. Me too, girl. Yeah, I know my story. I definitely been there. We definitely don't victim blame on this channel. I don't know who she's talking to. I don't know who's victim blaming, but uh yeah, we don't do that over here. Justice for Katie. Yes. They do have a group. So if you guys want to go and check it out, the Justice for Katie's group. Let me see something. Hold on. Oh no, that was something else. Let me see. Yeah, it's definitely not worth it. It's really sad. Does anybody want to come up? Barbara, would you like to come up for a minute? Or Cynthia or anybody? I got a little bit of time today now. If not, we are going to close. If not, we're going to close. I got some other things to work on. But we're going to keep the family in prayer like we always do and hope that they get justice. And know that I work my hardest with any case that I do with anybody. Candlelight. Yes. So we are going to do, yeah. Cynthia knows already. Hold on, y'all. We're going to do our prayer for her. And know that, nobody, if anybody feels uncomfortable or feels like, feels a certain way, you don't have to be here. Please exit. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. Hold on, y'all. And that goes for anybody that feels uncomfortable on my platform. I work too hard for anybody's case. So I don't know what the fuck they be talking about, but child, please. Let me see if I can like this. Thank y'all. All right, we're going to do our prayer like we do every night. And this is for the victim's family. This is for anybody who needs it, anybody who feel that hole in their heart. Because look, I even need prayer. I pray every day. I pray for not only myself, I pray for victims. I pray for their family. I pray for justice. I pray for my home. I pray for, I don't pray for things that I want. Because when you pray for things that you want, it's just not, you know what I mean? So. Amen. I really don't like this candle, y'all. This is apple. They picked it out. But it was nice. I want to say thank y'all for joining me, like always. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. The most thing that I really want everybody to do is just keep every family and victims and their family in prayer. Because they all need it. Every victim and family is going through it. It's not just Katie family. It's every family that every case I've talked about, every case that I've worked on. Everybody, they're all going through it. You know what I mean? It's just really messed up. They don't get no help from the police. The news is not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? You got Jelani Day. We haven't heard about his case forever. What's going on with Jelani Day? What's going on with Jelani Day? Organs missing. It's just so foul. And if the family doesn't continue to push it, and content creators don't continue to push it, it ain't gonna be out there. You see the way Barbara is pushing Timmy D's name? That's how it has to be. Because let's face it, if Barbara wasn't pushing Timmy D's name, right? We would not know about Timmy D. We wouldn't know what would happen. We wouldn't know about it. We wouldn't know. We would not know. Because you got the police, you got the media. None of them saying quat da 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 da, nothing. So it's really the parents that has to push it and get it out there. And you know what I'm saying? Keep it going. And we are right there beside them. We got their back. No matter, we got their back. So I really hope that Jelani Day's case is being still pushed away. In other cases is being pushed, and you gotta move forward. You gotta keep pushing these cases. And it's a shame, and it really, really is so sad that these families don't get the help from the justice system that's supposed to protect and serve. Y'all protect and serve, right? But y'all the biggest thugs out there. It's a disgrace. What's gonna be done about it? I don't know. This is why I don't vote. Ask me twice why I don't vote. I tell you, I don't vote. Don't do the voting. I just don't vote. For what? But that's just my opinion, y'all. But that's for every parent and siblings too. You know, help your mamas push these cases out there. Help your aunties push these cases out there. Help your grandmama push these cases out there. Keep it going. Keep it going. Sad. You know, real sad. What is it's justice for Katie Ferguson? Let me put it down below. Oh, I just saw your movie night one. Oh, I was showing you that, Kathy B. But I didn't like it. I changed it. I didn't like that movie. I changed it. But yeah, we gotta do one. We're gonna do one. I just got so much going on. All right, so let me get hold on. Oh, was that just a message? She don't have a group for her? Oh no. Oh wow. I thought they had a oh, that was that was another mess. Hold on. Oh wow. Ferguson Mary Martha. Oh. Oh no, that was a missing person cold case that I saw, y'all. That wasn't even a group for her. I thought they had a group. Oh, because I saw her father comment and I thought it was a group. Because usually, if I see a father or a parent comment on Facebook under something and I click, it's their group. But no, this was under somebody else's group. This is the missing person cold case and human trafficking group. Interesting. Okay, so no, they don't have a group for her. Oh, wow. You see something. Let me just make sure. Aw. And she did have a Facebook page. Her baby on it, y'all. But yeah, no. No, she didn't. I'm sorry. She needs a group, right? Yeah. Yeah, because this is some foul shit, man. Because when I go to group, I don't see. No. Oh, wow. There's a lot of Katie's, too. All right, y'all. Mm. Yes, good night, Kathy B. I just messaged you. Text message you, babe. All right. We need to get her case out there for everyone to see it. Yeah. Yeah, Artie Fox sent me this case, so that's how I found out about it, you know? Yeah, that's how I found out about it. But definitely. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night, all right? Sweet dreams. How they used to say when I was back in the days, don't let the bed bugs bite. Thank God I ain't got no creatures in my damn house, though. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. Please share the video. Bye. See y'all tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow I'm working on what do we got tomorrow? Hold on. What's tomorrow? Thursday? I don't even know what the days are anymore. I swear. I just tell you, I just don't. Summer, yes, Summer Wells. Tomorrow I'm doing Summer Wells. I've never done her case. It would be my first time. Yeah, another strange case. Summer Wells. All right. Good night, All right, everybody. Have a blessed night. Peace.